Well, it said Attorney General Cooper and the Department of Justice help you know what your rights and responsibilities are under the law and actively investigate and prosecute officials who violate the public's trust. And it goes on talking about open meetings laws, provide the foundation for knowing what government officials and entities do. And what had happened up here in Buncombe County, the Buncombe County Commissioners went behind closed doors and sent out a letter, ordered the county attorney to send out a letter that they were going to do away with prayer before each of the county commissioners meetings. And when you look at the North Carolina State Statute, in regards to closed sessions, it says general policy matters may not be discussed in a closed session, and nothing herein shall be construed to permit a public body to close a meeting that otherwise would be open merely because an attorney employed or retained by the public body is a participant. And so there wasn't any legal ramifications there. There wasn't anything that dealt with the county per se, and there wasn't anything that dealt with, you know, employees of the county. And that was my biggest concern, is why they went to a closed meeting to do that, and asked the county attorney to put out a letter to all the local other municipalities of their intentions to do so. And I felt like they broke North Carolina general statute, and then that's why I was kind of wondering if I couldn't turn it over to the general attorney's office to investigate it. Why would I be giving it to the school of government?
I thought you wanted somebody to talk to somebody about what happened and get their legal opinion about whether or not that was in conformity with the statute.
No, ma'am. I just didn't know how would you go about getting the North Carolina Attorney General's office to investigate that matter.
And what I'm saying is that's not one of our statutorily permitted jobs, to investigate that matter.
But your website says it is. That's what I don't understand.
Well, if you'd like to talk to the people who run the website, I'd be glad to connect you to our public information officer.
No, ma'am. I'm just telling you what the website said, and that's I don't think it has anything to do with the layout of the website. It's just.
Well, what I'm saying is I don't know what it says, but I'll look at it. But I'm telling you my understanding of what the rules are for what we can and can't do, irrespective of if our website's incorrect. Then the people who do the website need to correct it, and I'll look at it. But I'm just telling you what I understand the law to be.
Well, let me ask you this then, real quick. If our elected officials are not doing what they're supposed to be doing by North Carolina state law, who is responsible for investigating them?
And that depends on what law they violated. In the case of a county where a board of commissioners, what you're alleging is the board of commissioners violated the public meetings law, and in that situation, the Attorney General's office role would be if that Board of Commissioners or their attorney called and said, what does the law require, we would advise them. But in terms of trying to enforce it against them, that would not be something that we do.
Okay, so who enforces the laws for that?
I believe a public citizen could. You could. I mean, you could bring an action, or sometimes the newspapers bring an action.
Okay. So a taxpayer and a citizen of the state of North Carolina would have to, and I'm not being facetious or anything, I'm just trying to get this straight here in my head here. I would have to myself file a lawsuit against the county commissioners for what I think that they've done, but my elected North Carolina Attorney General couldn't do that.
Yes. Basically.
Okay. Well, Susan, what was your last name?
Nichols.
Nichols. Susan, I really appreciate you answering my questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. if you can read this or not, but this is off of the North Carolina Department of Justice Attorney General Roy Cooper's own website. Public integrity. Government employees and elected officials have a responsibility to respect the law, act ethically, and conduct their work in an open manner. Attorney General Roy Cooper and the Department of Justice help you, that's us, know what your rights and responsibilities are under the law and actively investigate and prosecute officials who violate the public's trust. North Carolina's public records and open meetings laws provide the foundation for knowing what government officials, that's our county commissioners, and entitles, I can't even read, knowing what government officials and entities do. North Carolinians are generally entitled to see any public record. Public bodies must generally conduct business in the public. And it goes on. So what they've told me to go to is the School of Government. And they've told me to give it at that website address, sog.unc.edu. And there's the telephone number, 919-966-5381. I can tell you, I think this is kind of crazy that my Attorney General's office is telling me to go to some place called the School of Government, which is not a law enforcement agency. They work for Chapel Hill.